Hey y'all, welcome to the rest of my story. Another webisode of my story, the story of Misty, as told by me. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. So, anyways, where was I? Where was I on my story? Okay, so I had met this new guy, and I met him at the place that, Spirit said that I would meet a guy. And he was pretty cool, but he was not exactly what I was looking for. He was obviously looking for a good time. I was looking for a partner, a life partner. And that's just obviously not what he was looking for. So, but whenever he kissed me, oh my God, it was, I don't know. It was crazy. I'd never experienced anything like that. And then I walk in on my baby girl with blue lips and barely breathing. She was alive, thank God. My mother was crying. She didn't know what to do. We called 911. The ambulance came. I rode in the ambulance with my daughter to the hospital. They put us in a hospital tank they put us on a bed, and they put this like clear curtain around us, and there was oxygen being pumped to us. And I just had her, and yeah, it was crazy. As the oxygen got to her, she just got happier and happier. So it was really cool. She like came back to life, and they sent us back home. During this time, I was a cigarette smoker. I'll admit that I was. My mother was too, and I still smoked marijuana. And yeah, it was scary. It was crazy. Dave had called me, and I ended up calling him back and explaining to him that my daughter was in the hospital and everything. And he was confused why I was telling him that. It's because he called me, and so I called him back to let him know. But she did get out of the hospital, and I did have to take some time off work. And it's like, I don't know, something clicked in me that I realized I could just call off work anytime. I don't know why I felt that way, but I did start calling off of work like all the time. And one day I decided to just call off work and take my girls swimming, go to the local Y and go swimming. And I had called a couple people before I called Dave. Dave was the third person that I called. I called one of my girlfriends, and she didn't want to go. And I called the guy that I was dating, that we decided, he just didn't want to be a dad, even though, we were like best friends, because we would talk like all night, and we liked each other as people. But he didn't want to go swimming, so I called Dave and asked him if he wanted to go swimming with me, and he said yeah. And so he shows up, and we go, and once again, he's holding my little baby daughter, and Dave looks a lot like Zach, y'all. Dave's like a bigger, better version of Zach. I don't know. But he does look a lot like Zach in that my baby girl, my first daughter did not look like Zach at all, but my second one looked exactly like him. So he was holding her in the pool while I had my toddler, and we're just like having fun at the pool, and everybody is just like, your daughter looks just like you, to Dave. And he's like, thanks. And yeah, he hadn't even slept with me yet. It was funny. But oh my gosh, y'all. And then with his swim shorts, seeing him in his swim shorts, oh my goodness, it was crazy. And then we did go back to my place, and I was going to make some food for him, but he didn't want to eat or anything. So I made food for my daughters and fed them. And then, Dave was so sweet. He was just such a sweetheart and a really nice guy. And I told him that he's got to go because I've got to put my girls down for bed. And so he headed out, and it was so cute, y'all. He looked like a sad puppy dog leaving, but he left. And yeah, I was kind of worried that I might be falling for him because I felt like he would never fall for me. He would just use me, right? I don't know, but I was falling for him. I really was. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I was dating other people still because, the way that I saw it was, if you aren't tying me down, you're not calling me your girlfriend, you're not trying to have a relationship with me, then I'm free. I'm free. I'm on the market and I'm free. So that's just how I saw it. And yeah. So oh my goodness. Dave calls me up and he asks me on another date, and he's like, "I've seen where you live. I would like for you to see where I live." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds like a good idea. We could do that, this coming up weekend, and I can get my mom to watch the girls." And so I get my mom to watch the girls. Oh, also, I started calling into work way too much. I guess I had to learn this life lesson the hard way, but I got fired because I was basically calling into work all the time, and she was just like, "What's the point? Don't come back." And I don't blame her for firing me. And, still to this day, if I saw her, I'd hug her neck. But, I guess I don't know what got into me. She was right to fire me. And so I was fired. But I was continuing to take my girls to their daycare. And I was looking for a job during the day. And that's pretty much all that I was doing. And, bills were coming up and everything too. It's not easy being an adult, guys. So Dave invites me to his place, which was the barracks, because he was a soldier. And so I had to go on post. He brought me to his room in the barracks, which was kind of like, I guess, college dorm rooms. They looked a lot like my college dorm rooms, except for a little bit better, a little bit more privacy. And they had their own bathroom. Like, that was cool. Like, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom per each section, where he was anyway. So anyway, he told me that his bedroom was a pants free zone. So I love dresses. I love dresses. I love skirts. I love all of that stuff. I love being girly. So I had lots of skirts. And I have lots of long skirts, really long skirts. So I thought, I will show him, and I'll wear one of my long ankle skirts. And I still remember to this day that dress, and I'm sure he does too. But yeah, I was wearing a purple tank top, because I always wear tank tops, different colors. And it was purple tank top with a pink skirt with butterflies all over it, all the way down to my ankles. And we were walking to his barracks, and he kind of like proposed to me. He like proposed to be his girlfriend. He was like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And he's like, it was so cute. It was in the hallway. I don't know. It was so cute, and I loved it, and I was just so happy, and I was like, "Yes, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll be your girlfriend. And, I'm thinking in my head, I've got to, like, tell these guys no, from now on, and so, but we go to his barracks room, and oh my goodness, I think that it's so funny because, he didn't know the list that I gave the universe. Do you guys remember? I had forgotten, but yeah, to be a family man, to believe in God, but not the Christian God, to like video games, and to be a nerd, And I know there's one more. Oh goodness, already forgot again. But anyway, so nerd was on the list, and he, I think, was afraid to show me his bedroom because he is a hardcore nerd and his bedroom shows that. But that was on the list. And, before that, I didn't know that he even had that quality. And so we got to his bedroom, and yeah, he collects action figures, is what he would say. Don't call them dolls. He collects action figures. He has a whole nerd collection. He had a fish tank, which was really cool, and cactuses. And he had a whole video VHS collection, which just hit my heart. Like, all of my beloved childhood movies was in his collection. Things like The Last Unicorn, The Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, stuff like this was just like so nostalgic for me and hit home. And then he had that stuff, and it was like, I was like, you have these movies? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh wow. And then he had a whole Xbox setup and a Sega and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And so yeah, we decided to pick out one of the movies, and I still remember the movie that we picked out was 40 Years of Virgin. I hadn't seen that movie, 40-year-old virgin or something like that. I remember it kind of. I remember I could see it, But anyway, we put that movie in, and we just lay down on his bed, and, like, his room was so neat and tidy. It was so cool. But yeah, we end up making out, and one thing leads to another, and yeah, we end up doing the deed, and it was amazing. So amazing, you guys. Oh my gosh. But the thing is, like, I told him, I'm highly fertile and everything, so you have to use a condom. And I thought that I saw him put a condom on, and then when we were done, the condom wasn't on him, so I was like, oh my gosh. But, it like, we went forever, and he never ejaculated. Like, he never finished, and it was like forever. We finished because he was like, are you tired? We can stop if you're tired. And I'm like, yeah, and then we finished, and we went to his bro's room and talked to him, and he was like, I guess he could tell that we had just got laid, but it was like, I don't know, it was cool. Anyway, it was like, for me, I was like, oh my gosh, that was the best ever. And he obviously knows what he's doing, and he's obviously been with like top tier women, because yeah, this is not my experience at all. My experience is, guys put in what, like, that's it. Not go for almost 2 hours and never, and keep going. This is crazy. Like, oh my gosh. And I must be awful because, like, yeah, compared to what he's used to having, I must be awful because he never was able to finish. And I'm just like, he's probably thinking, man, she sucks. What have I done? And he'll never call me back again. And I don't know. I was just, doing my normal thing and overthinking everything. It was just crazy. I was overthinking everything. It was crazy. But yeah, I had a boyfriend. So we'll see how that works out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out of time, so that's all I got for you today. And I thank you so much for being here. But as always, be blessed with love. That's all she got.